Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
Hezbollah, star power here in Abu Dhabi.
Cheers, guys.
Second all, it's there for you, because I heard people say, well, I don't want to buy into Medicare.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
You're getting emotional, Tony.
That's because I know what it's like to lose a pet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon, episode number 57. This episode is going to be completely raw, unfiltered, no script, no idea what I'm going to talk about, except I do. If you didn't hear the news, by the way, we have to do this, sorry, ready? Crisp. This is blood of citizens of the city of Kansas City, Missouri. In a Coke Zero can. Got these for the Super Bowl, the little cute 7.5 ounces, baby. Cheers to the Philadelphia Eagles. Cheers to the Kansas City Chiefs. Cheers to everyone out there. It's a beautiful time in our country. It's a beautiful time. Things are happening that don't happen. Philadelphia sports teams are winning titles. Artists are getting booed. Some artists are not getting booed. It's really a beautiful thing. And if you're not watching on YouTube, I'd highly recommend to watch on YouTube. I'm gonna have some score updates for the Super Bowl on screen in case anyone missed it. Not sure how you could miss it. You know, I haven't seen the ratings come in yet for this Super Bowl. But, you know, a lot of people said they were boycotting. We don't want to see the Chiefs again. We don't want to see Taylor Swift. The Eagles they don't have Josh Allen. Eagles, you know. I didn't see much boycotting yesterday, though. I think a lot of people still tuned in. Boycotting the NFL is such an empty threat. There might be 5 people in the entire world, the entire country, that have actually completely stopped watching the NFL. Maybe more than that, but hey man, I'm sorry. If you can't put your political beliefs behind to watch some really good sports, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. And I feel bad because it's really fun. You know, this episode is titled Dancing on the Grave, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. My little buddy here sitting on my desk, we're both rocking shades. I'm rocking all black today, even wearing black shorts. You can't even see them, and I'm wearing them. That is how much I dedicate to you, the audience. This is the premiere show, all right? And today's going to be a little bit of a hate fest. I don't like to fester in negative feelings. I don't like to fester in loathing. It's not a good thing. Hating anything is not good. However, there are certain outlets where you can extinguish your hate in a healthy way. Not against your friends, not against your family, not against your boss, your coworkers. But in the world of sports, you can hate. And it is completely acceptable to hate. To hate in sports. You can definitely get away with it. Now, obviously, I don't hate Taylor Swift. I don't hate Travis Kelce. I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. It's all just a bit. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting stuff about how Patrick Mahomes is a Nazi, about how he sacrifices lambs to Satan, and how Taylor Swift is a Nazi. Now, obviously, I don't believe those things, but if you can enjoy a good bit, then maybe you'd enjoy that. I think some people got it, some people probably didn't, but that is the beauty in things, is that when you're doing a bit, you can really find out who has good taste and who doesn't. I'm not saying if you didn't like my bit, you have bad taste or anything, but that's not at all what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's a harmless bit about lamb sacrifice and satanic rituals and Nazism. It's not really that deep of a thing. It's not gonna tarnish any reputations. I have 200 subscribers and nobody is gonna listen to this. And I'm punching up. It's almost impossible for me to punch down. I'd have to go to a daycare center to punch down because there's really nobody smaller than me, and that's one of the reasons I don't feel bad for doing this, you know? I was actually thinking about this today because my plan for this episode is a hate fest. And I thought about it and I was like, you know, I should do this. I don't really expect this podcast to ever grow, but let's say it did. I have to do the hating now because if you get to a certain point, hating is no longer cool. You know, if Elon Musk or any powerful people hate on something like I'm about to do, it's punching down. You can't punch down. You know, I'm on Taylor Swift's tail right now in terms of net worth. I'm not quite there yet, but I can only do this for so long. I can only remain a non-billionaire for so long. So I'm going to do the hating now. But nonetheless, the Philadelphia Eagles slaughtered the Kansas City Chiefs. They slaughtered them. The final score was 40-22. It would have been 40-6 if we didn't put our freaking third stringers in. All right, we had like Make-A-Wish kids playing left tackle in the final 3 minutes. Sirianni got the Gatorade bath with 3 minutes on the clock, and that's just unheard of in the Super Bowl. And the thing is, it wasn't even cocky to do that. It wasn't in the least cocky to shower him with lemon lime, by the way. Who won, who lost. It wasn't cocky to do that because the whole world knew it was over. It wasn't a false, it wasn't a celebrating too early compilation 2016. You're not going to see it there, buddy. It was fully within the realm, within the sportsmanship hemisphere to do that. Nobody's feelings were hurt from that. But I haven't heard any update yet on Jake Elliott. I need to talk about Jake Elliott. If the Eagles did not have as many points on the board as we did, he would have a legitimate case for Super Bowl MVP. I have watched hundreds, if not thousands, of football games in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen a kicker more dialed in for one game than Jake Elliott was last night. He had one kick that wasn't like perfectly down the center, and that was after the BS false start call on the Eagles. They had to redo the kick. This guy, every single kick was a laser right through the middle of the goalpost. I would love to see some next-gen stats brought to you by the folks over at AWS on those kicks. I really would, because I think it has to be one of the most accurate kicking games in NFL history if they have a stat for where the ball goes through the uprights, which they probably do. They probably do. I should have researched that, but really wanted to make this impromptu, and because that's just more fun. Jake Elliott had a legitimate case for Super Bowl MVP. If you could give MVP to an entire squadron, then it would be the defensive line. Patrick Mahomes had someone whispering in his ear on every play of this game. It was pretty crazy. It reminded me of Super Bowl 55 when Brady beat him. That's another thing. Brady has the ultimate devil magic. And that one might not be a joke. Brady has 7 Super Bowls. He has only lost to the NFC East, which might be where, maybe the NFC East is protected by a saint. I'm not quite sure. A guardian angel, something like that. But Patrick Mahomes is not immune to it, and it seemed like he was immune to everything. Patrick Mahomes is not immune to the Brady satanic magic. He's very much vulnerable to it. I don't know, Mahomes always wears a headband, but if he lifts it up, there might be a little scar there. And whenever Brady enters the building, oh, it hurts. Maybe something like that. I didn't hear any, no one put out a Patronus or anything last night, so didn't see any of that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Andy Reid is kind of a Dumbledore type figure. A little bit of a Dumbledore figure, kind of a mysterious past. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's profound. And it might be about a cheeseburger. But I do love Andy Reid. I hate to see him lose, but not to the Eagles, I don't. I do really respect Andy Reid. I think he's a class act. People want to bring up his kids a lot, and to that I say, no. I don't know. It's the same thing with Hunter Biden, That's not Joe Biden. That's a whole different dude. It might be his kid, but I don't think Joe is in there puppeteering Hunter around. Why? He's not responsible for everything he did. He got pardoned, thank God. We can continue to party, rock in the free world with Hunter out on the streets. It's just a more fun world with him in it. And, I gotta say this too about the game. I really think one thing that really bothered me is people complaining about the halftime show. I don't like that. It's not, they weren't complaining about the performance so much as I saw a bunch of people on Twitter saying, they'd post a picture of Kendrick Lamar and then they would tweet, "This lost on the ballot box, by the way. We no longer have to pretend that these artists are actually artists." I saw a ton of that, and they're all, six-figure like counts, like four-figure reply counts. Just a lot of blatant hate, actual hate, it seems, against Kendrick Lamar and, his halftime performance. A lot of people saying, where's the white people at in the halftime show? Just dumb stuff. If you really don't like rap or you really don't like Kendrick Lamar or whatever, then critique the actual performance. Say, he just didn't hit that shimmy the way I thought he would. But the fact that right now a popular narrative is anything that isn't a white male country singer was voted out on the ballot box is just kind of vile. It's just stupid. It's really dumb. And it's like, people often forget that half the country votes one way, half the country the other. There's about a few million margin in victory in the popular vote, but half the country still, has opposing views to you. And that goes to whoever's in power. I really, I kind of find myself, whoever is in power, I kind of root for the other side a little bit, whether consciously or subconsciously, because, I think balance is important. I think balance of power is important. So, it's all going to swing back the other way again someday. And then, by that time, they'll have Jason Aldean and Kid Rock shooting Bud Lights at the Super Bowl halftime after, Josh Shapiro wins in 4 or 8 years, whatever. And then all the Democrats will go, "The country music lost on the ballot box, by the way. We no longer have to pretend that any of these people have talent." And it's just exhausting. It's so exhausting. and that might make me sound like a fence sitter. I'm not a fence sitter. I have very, very strong views towards certain things that I won't express on the show because it's none of your business. But yeah, it's just annoying. And somehow the episode about me, taking a fresh dump on the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans turns into politics again. I am so sorry. God, I'm so sorry. But no, it was a good game. I really did enjoy the Fox score bug. I don't care what anyone says. The Fox score bug for this game was very simple. I don't care if it's Fortnite font, to be honest. It looked nice. You don't see a lot of score bugs anymore with a transparent background. They put the numbers for the score right on the field. They put, it was very basic, but I liked it. It felt very retro. Back in the old days of sports broadcasting, you'd be watching an NBA game or you'd be watching an NFL game, and there was no permanent score bug on the screen. If someone scored, they would just briefly flash the score, or if it came back from commercial, they would briefly flash the score on the screen. And you know how they did it? They actually just had cameras pointed at the physical scoreboard in the stadium, and then they transposed those over the main broadcast. Really interesting tidbit there. Fun little fun fact. Take away from the show. Fun fact right there. But yeah, it was cool, and that's what that score bug reminded me of. It was very retro. When it popped up for the first play of the game, my first thought was Michael Jordan's 1998 final shot to win his sixth ring. Honestly, I think I would have been tortured watching, especially an NBA game back then, because not having access to the score at all points, especially in a basketball game, is really tough. And it bothers me every time I try to go watch old basketball highlights, because the context of everything in sports is so important. Whether a team's down, how much time is on the shot clock, how much time is on the game clock. Those are all important things to have in mind when you're watching someone play, to see how they react in that situation. That's what literally separates the guys riding the bench from people in the Hall of Fame. So I guess you just kind of had to have a mental thing going on in your head to keep up with games back then a little bit, but I would have been not happy about that. That would be a hard adjustment. It's one of those things that it's weird to think it was ever that way. We used to not leave the house with a phone. Wow. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I liked it. Every year, the new score bug gets hate. Every year, it could be the best thing you've ever seen, and it'll get dragged on Twitter. So, to all these graphic designers over at Fox Sports, or whatever network you design graphics for, keep your head up, dude, and keep just putting the hours in. Keep going. My only gripe is that it is a little too minimalistic, but I don't know. I wouldn't say too minimalistic. It is very minimalistic, but the fact that it kind of gave me that flashback to old times was cool. Very basic. The one good thing about a basic score bug is it doesn't attract any more attention to itself than it needs to. I don't need a 3D rendering of Patrick Mahomes with bicep shading on to pop up when he scores a touchdown. That Fox had that for a few years. They made every skill player into like a Fortnite character, so they could put them up on the screen like a Fortnite character when they scored a touchdown. That to me was really tacky. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Can we do that? Yeah. But will it look good? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But the touchdown animations and the flag animations have really advanced in the last half decade or so. Every touchdown animation used to be the same basic little thing that would flash. Now we get players' names, positions, numbers when they score. That's pretty cool. I think it adds to the drama and, gives that player a little bit of extra credit for their successful points on the board. But, yeah, it is cool, too, now that if there's a flag, most of them show who it was on, what position, all that stuff. I mean, that's fine to me, but I don't need a Fortnite skin of Travis Kelce taking up half my screen. I think Fox debuted that in Super Bowl 54. That was when they had the score bug that was, it had the ball next to the numbers, and it kind of looked like sometimes a team had -7 points, -10 points. A lot of haters on that one, but yeah, it is what it is. All I'm going to say about the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift is that was voted against in the ballot box, okay? The Kansas City Chiefs should dissolve as a team. Taylor Swift should dissolve her music. It's just obnoxious. Shut up. That's the thing, too, is art is subjective. And that's one of the gripes I have about Taylor Swift, honestly, is the chart obsession. Yeah, she's a feminist icon who just wants to block every other woman from success on the charts. Which, by the way, music should not be about charts. Maybe rap. Charts and rap are kind of like a thing. It's like part of the rap culture. Beef is always good for rap. And we saw that yesterday, obviously. We had, 70,000 people calling Drake a pedophile in front of 100 million people. It was really good. And when I heard everyone say A minor, I did have like a boost of like every nutrient in my body. Hearing 70,000 people call Drake a pedophile did give me some adrenaline. It did give me a little high that I haven't really felt since maybe before COVID. Everything's watered down now, but I will always be around for pedophiles getting exposed. And I'm really interested to see now how Drake moves forward with this. I used to really like Drake. I mean, I think everyone does like Drake, even if they don't. He has 1,000 hit songs. People that don't know rap know Drake. I could probably play a song for someone in a nursing home by Drake, and they don't know who the guy is. They've never seen what he looks like, but, they would probably know half the words. He has done a lot of stuff. He is kind of like the Walmart of rap, though. He's kind of like the hip-hop Taylor Swift. He's done a lot of stuff, but all of it's a little watered down. Drake has like a freaking UK drill album. Like, what is that about? Okay. I don't want to hear Drake put on his UK Londoner accent and, try to spit. Like, stay in your lane there. He was kind of just, a few years ago, probably just hopping on every song to hop on every song. And that's true. Good for him. But I'm really interested to see where he goes from here. But yeah, I got lost. I got sidetracked. The gripe with Taylor Swift about charts. Blocking people from the charts. She's obviously obsessed, it seems. Every time she's in a social interaction, it looks forced and weird and awkward. And maybe she's drunk and coked out all the time. I don't know if that's why. But I did see a video of her trying to talk to like Sabrina Carpenter at the Grammys, and it seemed like it looked like a person asking for money on the street walked up to Sabrina Carpenter. She like didn't even look at her. And T Swifty's all down her throat in her face trying to talk to her about whatever. maybe asking if she has a toot ski. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's just sometimes the eye test works, but in her case, I think it's more than the eye test. I think she does very shady business practices. She was astroturfed. Her dad boosted her career with $300K. Not quite the underdog story there. And I don't even care about the private jets. Burn that fuel up. I'd go, good for you, do it. I'll never talk bad on that. If I could take a private jet 8 minutes from here to the next town over, I probably would. Because sometimes you just have to flex. I actually respect the hell out of Taylor Swift for burning the fuel. I think that's cool. She doesn't try to hide it. She doesn't try to, she's just, that I respect. Very shameless about the fossil fuel emissions. Because if you're lying to yourself, if you say you wouldn't do it too. If I can get across the country in a private jet with Italian leather seats, a built-in spa, a big JBL speaker with Fetty Wap on, and, a few Coke Zeros, and I don't have to wait in TSA and get rubbed down or anything, of course, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. But yeah, I don't hate Taylor Swift, but I do get genuinely scared of her fans because it is like a cult. And when has there ever been a quote-unquote artist who is a billionaire, has achieved every type of success you could ever have, is in their mid-30s but still acts like they're 15? And if you try to ever say that out loud, if the word comes out, if you say the word, if you start to go tail, and it's not like praising her fans are going to come after you like a damn lynch mob in the 20s. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not. She's a billionaire. She doesn't know you exist. And she's drunk and coked out all day. She doesn't know she exists. She knows how to make money, and she knows how to do marketing. She definitely doesn't know how to dance. That is for sure. Have you seen her try? I've seen a billion videos of the Eras Tour, none with my consent, of course, and she struts around stage with a fan blowing her hair back, and that's like the greatest performance art on the planet today. That's the greatest thing. I saw videos at one of her concerts where she's like banging a metal stick on another metal stick. I guess I don't know the lore, okay? I don't know the lore, but it wasn't in time. Half the time she's dancing, it doesn't necessarily look in time. I feel like on the guitar, she might be able to play Smoke on the Water. I don't know what else, to be honest, and I don't care to look it up. She stands up there and holds this giant ass acoustic guitar and plays it for like a few songs, I guess, because I've seen videos of that. But it's like, I've just never seen someone achieve so much success with that low amount of skill and performance artistry. Watch a Michael Jackson concert. Michael Jackson, there's just so many people that when they step on a stage, they own it and they command it. And you're almost lured into them. You're like, it's like an out-of-body experience. I mean, Michael Jackson, and like I said, so many others, but he's just the first that comes to mind, is the dude, probably the greatest dancer of all time. He like invented a whole new dance style that only white kids with autism at, talent shows have been able to replicate successfully. And, there's just nothing close. I don't hate Taylor Swift as much as, I don't hate Taylor Swift. I hate that performance art, that's like the greatest we have now, apparently. That's the one that's most commercially successful. Because I want good stuff to be good. And I want good stuff to be successful. And it's just not that good. It's just not that good. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Taylor Swift is not a person. She's like a brand. Taylor Swift is more of an Eras Tour popcorn bucket than she is a human being at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. I'm going to stay in my lane, but I had to get that out. If there was ever a time to hate, it's now. And I don't feel bad for disliking a billionaire. I don't. I always hear people say, like, it is impossible to become a billionaire as an ethically sound person. But that's until someone they like becomes a billionaire. Taylor Swift is almost as rich as Donald Trump. Almost. I mean, when you hit $1 billion, you're already, that's stupid money. So anything above that is just stupid money. Anything above like 100 million is stupid money. But yeah, I don't get it. I hope I don't have a lynch mob after me after this episode gets posted. I probably will. But I don't know. It's like everyone's afraid to say it. People are afraid to criticize her because her people that support her are like kind of nuts. A lot of them, I think. I like certain artists. I like certain bands. I like certain shows, movies, anything. And if someone comes out and says, dude, I think they suck, like they're not good, I go, oh, that's cool. I mean, it's just not for you, I guess. And it's like defending a celebrity like that is just absurd, because I know the stuff I like is not what everyone likes and vice versa. But the fact that you can't say it, you'll get called an anti-feminist, a misogynist, an insecure man or woman who can't stand to see a successful slay girl, whatever. And that's not it. I just think there's much more talented people out there that slay harder. Okay? I believe that. I believe Lana Del Rey, for example, Lady Gaga, people that create things that actually have sort of a meaning behind it besides like, he dumped me and he's bad, and then her, the fans like send people death threats, and as far as I know, she's never really publicly come out and said, hey, I might not like my ex, but don't try to go kill somebody. I could be wrong. And the thing is, if I get hate under this video for my dislike of Taylor Swift, that only proves my point. It only strengthens the point I'm trying to make, that why is a music artist like a dictatorial figure that, if you say you don't really like them, someone will come blow your head off. I don't get it. It's scary. It's very scary. She's 35? She doesn't need you to speak for her. She never really has. She's always been the rich white girl, privileged, very, very lucky in life, has a very great life, The fact that her dad could shell out $300K to get her career started is a blessing. I only wish that at some point along the line she became authentic, Wouldn't you want to be authentic if your whole career was manufactured? At least be like a nice person. At least be, and I don't know how it started. It is very cult-like. It'll be a video of her at the Super Bowl, and like yesterday she gets booed, and then she just kind of sits there, and she was like, what? And she like literally didn't do anything. She just sat there. And then all the comments are like, look at this queen slay. Like they don't even know what they booing for, like all this stuff. And it's like, dude, she's sitting there. She's sitting there. And it's the Super Bowl. Half that room is white dudes in their middle ages who, you know, do something, who knows, but they make a lot of money. And if they don't, then their company does, and they get sent to the game through their company. That's not her target market, okay? She gets booed once or twice, and people act like someone threatened her life. It's just a little crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, it's something else, dude. Lady Gaga, awesome artist. That's someone I can confidently call an artist, because someone like that, the music transcends just the music. It's art, you know? If I listen to a Gaga song, I have images popping through my head. And if I listen to a Taylor Swift song, all I hear is, GarageBand acoustic guitar track 02.wav, and then her singing over it. To me, it's not really art. It's just marketing. It's just, what can we do this month to make sure we hit the bottom line? Get on billboards and let no one else in. I know I sound absolutely psychotic. I'm not psychotic. I saw a tweet the other week, and it said, I will never understand people who say, like, not to dislike things. In my opinion, if you don't have a dislike, whether it's weak or strong, about anything, then what power does your like hold? Okay? It's like, if I go through Instagram and I like everyone's picture, no matter who it is, what I'd like, I don't even look at it. I just like it. Maybe I throw a comment, little emoticon. Then my like holds no value, you know? I know this is a screwed up example, but if you just can look at everything and go, oh, I'm indifferent. She's a billionaire who's 34, has the maturity level of a 15-year-old and this and that, but I'm indifferent. No, I don't like her. I don't like, you're allowed to dislike things except Taylor Swift. It's just very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. Hopefully the tide will turn. And like I said earlier, when a person or a thing or a party gets too powerful, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, I kind of start to push back a little bit. Not like actively, but just in my head, I'm like, all right, just don't let it go too far. Because that's how everything bad that's ever happened has happened, is somebody gets something, power, money, and then they just take it too far. That's how everything bad in the world happens. And I'm not comparing Taylor Swift to, Hitler or Mussolini or Mao or Genghis Khan. Certainly not. But I'm just saying it's that same vibe. It's that same type of behavior as this person rules all and you can't say anything. It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, this kind of just turned into the Swiftie show. But I had to get that off my chest. I really did. And I'm not going to sit here and act like there aren't a few Taylor Swift songs in my liked Spotify songs. Okay? I'm not a monster. All right? Blank Space, absolute banger. There's one other one, I can't remember it, but it's from like 2014. Whatever that era was, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, obviously, she's culturally relevant. Absolutely. And she has a lot of good songs. But, it's just, it's out of hand. It's out of hand. This is rebel headquarters right here against the Swift Army, I suppose. So, yeah. Honestly, we're at 40 minutes. I like to keep episodes bite-sized, okay? No one has time. I don't have time. You don't have time. So, the only people with time right now are the Chiefs. Losers have time. They have time to go home and cry and take a trip to Mexico, I guess. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm not a psychotic hater, I promise. Right hand up to Taylor. I just like to point things out. And, you know, I'm definitely not sitting the fence on this episode. So, anyway, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, go Birds.